What is a cold plunge for you? Because I don't think you've been doing it for a really long time, but what are you noticing? Like, what's it doing? Noticing any difference in like cognitive behavior, or like, what do you think it's doing for you?
So the resilience aspect is a big deal, because going into like freaking 38-degree water, it's cold, it shocks you. But one thing is, I feel like it helps with just mental resilience. You know what I mean? So a lot of people find it hard to focus on things for a good period of time, or they find that things sway them one way or the other. I think a lot of people have mentioned, and I notice it too, it does help me with that. Another thing though is the inflammation aspect of things. There have been multiple days that I've gone into my cold plunge of like, let's say that I felt something in my back or something was just feeling, my body was feeling kind of wonky. I hop in there for a few minutes, I come out and I feel fucking good. And I'm like, placebo. Like, I'm really trying to pay attention to this for a while after. Like, how do I feel? And quite literally, I just feel really like my body, it's like that, whatever I had, I don't feel it anymore, right? So one thing that we do know is that cold plunging does literally reduce and stop inflammation that's going on, which is why it's not suggested that you do it after a lifting session. You don't want to go into a cold plunge after you lift, because the inflammation and all the things that are happening post-lift, you want that to happen. You want that to spur growth. But in the morning, when I'm trying to get my day started, that's something that is good for me to do at that point in time.
Maybe several hours later would be fine too, right? It's not going to matter. Like if you lifted in the morning and you cold plunged like at 2 o'clock, probably not going to be a negative, right?
Not going to do that at all.
What about a pre-workout plunge?
A pre-workout plunge? You know, that, so after I cold plunge, my body is residually, like even when I go take a shower, I'm still having mini shivers for about an hour or two. And the interesting aspect of it is I haven't even talked about the fat loss things, but there's, because of the increased movement and what shivering does, a lot of people have shown that it does help with a little bit of extra fat loss. I'm not doing it for that, but that is a benefit of doing that. And I shiver, like afterwards, I am shivering for maybe 2 hours, even when I come in here, even after I take a warm shower, because my body is trying to get back to normal, right? So there is that too. A pre-workout plunge, I've never done it, but hey, it's maybe not problematic.
Maybe quite a bit shorter, so that way maybe you're not like messing with your body temperature. You know, if you did it for like a minute, that might be good, because then you might be like hyped. I'm just speculating. I have no idea.
You're right. But I could, I could see somebody doing that, just hopping into a cold plunge real quick, 30 seconds,
popped out, smashed on some push-ups and some kettlebell swings. You'd probably be pretty fired up, right?
I'm just thinking,
feel that, dude,
because I work out in the morning. You know, if I would cold plunge, I would probably have to do it in the morning like you, but then I would
do it before. You would do it before.
The cold plunge stuff is interesting, but you know, the thing is with cold plunge and with sauna, something that I think is really important for people to recognize is you're going to elevate your heart rate a little bit, and it will mimic exercise just a pinch. So for those people that kind of hate to exercise, they don't really enjoy it, they don't really love it, or somebody that is either injured or someone who is a little older and just doesn't have the same output that they used to have, you're burning some calories from that stuff. However you can implement, I'm not saying it's like this crazy fat burner. I'm not saying it's going to, help you burn an additional 1,000 calories a day, but hey, every little bit helps.
Absolutely. And there was something you just mentioned right there. As far as the cold plunge is concerned, the breathing. So I wear my Apple Watch when I cold plunge, and it is, what happens is initially when you get in there, like, right, your heart rate, like my heart rate goes up to like 130, 140, but that breath control. This is what some people forget. I go to this place called Asha Urban Baths, and I notice when people go into the cold plunge there, they get out after like 15, 20 seconds, but they get out because they can't control their breathing. You're supposed to get in there. It's extremely uncomfortable. Your body doesn't feel good, but throughout that, you slow down your breathing, and you notice that, like my Apple Watch, heart rate goes up to 140, then it starts going down to 120, 110, 80,
Probably
60.
pretty smart to have something that monitors your heart when you go in there. Probably a good idea.
Yeah. Pat Project family, I hope you guys are enjoying this bite. Did you know that cocaine increases your dopamine levels by 2.5 times above baseline?
Okay.
Why is this important?
Why is this important, Nsima?
Because, a really cool thing that we learned from Andrew Huberman is that getting yourself into cold water or cold water exposure, like the cold plunge, does the same thing. 2.5 times above baseline. And you have those sustained dopamine levels for up to 4 or 5 hours after cold exposure. This is why we love cold plunging so much. I cannot say this enough. It has been one of the best additions to our daily routines. If you can't already, just take cold showers. But if you want to take to the next level, get the cold plunge. And Andrew, how can they do it?
You guys got to head over to thecoldplunge.com and at checkout, enter promo code PowerProject to save $150 off. I keep saying it. I'm going to keep saying it till I'm blue in the face and not blue from the cold, blue from holding my breath. This has been the absolute best thing I've ever done for my mental health. Like I said, I can't say it enough. So again, thecoldplunge.com, promo code PowerProject, links to them down in the description, as well as the podcast show notes. Let's get back to this podcast.
And then it goes all the way down to like 55. And it's just like, once it's there, you're just like, you're chilling. But that gives you, I mean, Wim Hof talks a lot about it, but that ability to control your breath, and that allows you to control your mood. And think about this, when stress hits you during any point, there are a lot of other things than cold plunging that you can do to train yourself to handle stress. But that is literally a direct way to train yourself calming down from extreme stress, because that doesn't feel good. It feels good when you're relaxed, but it doesn't feel good initially.
Let's talk about day before, like, getting yourself set up the night before is huge. And also I would say something I've learned, which I just not sure why I haven't thought about it before, but I've also recognized over the years that I could start my day before practice anytime I want. It doesn't have to be at night. So a lot of times, like for me, I'm pretty good like during the day. I want to do a lot. I want to experience a lot. I want to work out. I want to podcast. I want to do a lot of like just work in general. But as the day wears on, my decision making kind of dwindles. And at the end of the day, I'm like, I just love to go home and just kind of be with my family and eat and just really relax. So it's helpful to me before I start to kind of go downhill and start to relax and get ready for bed and stuff like that. It's helpful to me to like pick out some clothes for the day, the next day, look at my calendar and see what's in store for the next day. Even like some visualization of like, this is where I'm going to be. This is what I'm going to do. Oh, really? This is great. We have a guest coming in. And then I might start to maybe text people a little bit. I don't want to get into too much of that, like especially too late at night, but I might have to communicate with some different people here at work about a particular guest that's coming in. I'm just trying to set up the next day as much as I possibly can before the day even starts. That way, when I wake up, I might kind of be sort of clueless on what the hell I'm doing exactly, but my clothes are laid out and I'm like, oh yeah, I texted Ryan this and I texted Nsima this. And I remember now that, these are the things that I got to do. So the day is like, all the like little things that I can take care of, they're already taken care of. They're already set up. I'm already pretty much ready to go.
Power Project family, a lot of the guys in the audience said that they hate me whispering. So I won't whisper anymore. I'll just whisper here again. So go ahead and comment down below. Like, comment, subscribe, and check out all our sponsors here in the bio or the description. Okay? All right. Bye.